nice run.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing, Jones. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there, going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Fresh set of downs here. Again, it's Miller. Stays on his feet. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. You're going to want a big game out of that guy. Big-time run to get things started. But even more importantly, coming in on the road, trying to silence the crowd, take them out of it a little bit, slow down the emotions of the game, and get yourselves under control and feel like, yeah, we're going to be okay on the road.
Strong grabs it over the middle. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the...
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, Tannehill. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They run with Ajayi, and he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
In motion is Grant. Here's Tannehill now on second down. Forced out to his left. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And here we go on first and goal. They'll try to run with a J. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. They get 25 yards out of that one. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's brought down. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense? And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 77 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he'll bang that one through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A pickup there of 36. And the Texans are going to have a first. And the young bucks showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way. A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 38 yards. And the Texans have broken the tie. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill surveying the field. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Tannehill on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's Ajayi. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
This is Ajayi. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. From the red zone now, Tannehill. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now Tannehill. This will be caught at about the 5. Only 2 yards on the completion. It's 2nd down. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd and goal to go now. Now it's Ajayi. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them?
He's got a man complete. Room here to run. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Landry, the receiver, in motion left. Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st down, Tannehill. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's still get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Tannehill now to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now Jones. Underneath for Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
And caught by Thomas. Touchdown, Miami. Julius Thomas, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 68 yards. And the Texans have broken the tie. It's up and good, and they've jumped back ahead, 35-28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
He got 29 yards that time. And now they're in the hurry-up.
They hit that crossing route.
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play. Tannehill to Parker. 45 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a Turkey Bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
1st and goal here from the 2. Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jay Ajayi saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 40 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Throwing Jones. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And there was a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he's got some space here. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He'll buy some time right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 2nd down now after the incompletion. Shift together here from the D-line. Now it's Tannehill. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm. Well,
absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Buying time to his left. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's taken in at the 9. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Steps away to his left. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. Back now in Miami. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up...
And it's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserve...
That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with the former Buckeye, Braxton Miller, and that brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They run again with a jive. And down he'll go at the 25. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
We got three,
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Tannehill, catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Back to throw. Tannehill. Over the middle. It's Thomas. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it was a golden chance to go ahead here in the final moments, but he misses for a 2nd time in this game.
Brandon, either one of those go, and they might be on their way to a victory. Instead, they're going to have to hold on here defensively just to force overtime.
They come out here in the eye. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Throwing, Jones. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Now Jones. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Second down following the run. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Tannehill now to throw. He's got time. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And Frank's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So nothing of importance there, just the season on the line, and he puts it home to likely get him through to the division round.
If you're a fan, you're watching this one with your hands over your eyes. But if you're a kicker, that's what you practice for all season long. And this one was never in doubt.
And here comes the Texans now. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal.
He's got it at the 15. And he'll be marked down deep into Miami territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now Lutz for the field goal try. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And the kick is good. He got it. And it's official now. They're going to the playoffs. And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only 1 period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
They've got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
No gain on the play there, second down. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I could play action down the road.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Miller. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. It's a touchdown in overtime. And they are marching on to the playoffs. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker.